Good to speak with you again. Chris Wallace here, Advised on a Man. I'm going to bring you another message today. This one's called Bypassing Trauma. And I want to start it off by asking you a question. I'm going to say, does the universe make mistakes? And I know it seems like an awfully big question to be asking, especially right off the hop. But we're talking about universe, right? What kind of silly question is that, Wallace? You might be saying to yourself right now, and that's fair enough. If you're a believer, you might ask yourself instead, does God make mistakes? Or you could combine the two. You might go Spinoza and see God as a metaphor for the universe, or the other way around. It makes it easier. Pantheism is what that's called, and it's good. It works for me. I like it. But whatever way suits you is just fine. Just ask the question and answer it. I'm asking you to think along these lines from a higher level. What's it going to be? Does the universe or God make mistakes? You might be thinking about all the shit that happens. Maybe thinking of that makes you want to shake your fists at the heavens. I've been there, right along with you. You could bring up all the sad and tragic stuff that goes on around us. The apparent randomness of bestowing health here while taking it from over there. But then you'd have to do that with everything. It's easier to think the universe doesn't decide at all. Now, it's perhaps not only easier, but it's a safer bet to consider a hands-off universe. God just leaves us alone to do our thing. And who knows for sure? You could demand the sky be yellow instead of blue. You could put a request in for pink clouds instead of white fluffy looking things up there. Forests could be purple and red, full of those truffula trees, maybe to please the Lorax. Soon you're in a different zone. You're in the realm of the obviously ridiculous rather than the ridiculously obvious. It's just that we don't get to do any of that stuff, do we? The truth is we don't get to decide squat for the universe or God or whatever or whomever is running this at times shit show and other times ideal place that we call home. Because that would require extraordinary hubris. And if you look up hubris in the Gage Canadian that my old man got me to buy, it says insolence, arrogance, wanton or contemptuous pride. Ouch. In other words, who the fuck do I think I am second guessing nature? It is what it is. You pick your battles in life. Fighting the universe or God is probably a lost cause. You follow me here? So now that we got that out of the way, let me tell you something about you. You started out as just a gleam in your mom and dad's eyes, just a sparkle. And soon they found each other, found their way into each other's arms, and your conception occurred. And in terms of choice, their role stopped right there. That was it. It was the limit of their involvement. Understand there was anywhere from 8 million to 1.2 billion sperm vying for the egg that day. Holy smokes, Pops. Go big or stay home, son, answers Dad. And Mom and Dad had zero to do with which one of those options made it through. At conception, they elected nothing. That choice was instead higher order stuff, a selection made by the universe itself or God. And you could call God G-O-D, good orderly direction. You could say it was random, and that's frankly a boring way to look at it. You can't prove it either way, so instead run with this one. Run with me on this for just a moment. It's much better to realize the universe in its infinite wisdom chose you. How infinite is that wisdom, you ask? Well, here's some perspective. The same power that put 1 billion stars in the Andromeda galaxy, 1 billion stars, mind you, chose you. It was you who got the go-ahead, the green light, and hit the crossing line tape first. It was you who won the race. And your prize, of course, was a life. You could have been born with or without sight intact, or with parts missing. My son's missing a kidney. He's got heart issues. He's got learning issues. He still belongs here because he got life. It's how it works. It's just that whatever traits you carry and condition you arrived in was preordained. Moreover, it was decided in the stars. You are stardust. Okay, maybe that's a little bit 1960s. I get that. It's out there, which I realize is also a pun, but kind of a fun one. But that doesn't mean it's not fact, because it is. The universe bestowed life upon you. None of the other possibilities made it that particular day. Think of how amazing that is. Only you. Why is that? Better still, what should you do about this? That's an even better question. Possibly odds of 1 billion to 1, and you made it. Whoa. Should you cry in vain at the sky and scream, I didn't ask for this? Is that what you're going to do with your gift? Because that works like shit, by the way, because I know I tried it. In the 1960s and early 70s, we thought we'd be annihilated by a nuclear weapon at some point. Any moment, we thought we'd go. As a kid, the fire station up on Alta Vista near my parents' place would test their air raid sirens all summer. We knew it was coming. That's what we figured. And I grew up thinking that I'd never make it to see the age 30, let alone the age I am now. And it sort of fucked myself over having that kind of an attitude. But let's face it, many of you will have a good reason like this. Or maybe your old man was a tyrant, or mom abdicated her best mothering from ignorance or overwhelm. Maybe neither of them was there. I don't know. What I do know is that the universe's choice precedes all of that. And well, hell man, it's better late than never. And did your pain pull on you and stretch you more than most? Like a great rubber band of hurt? Did it slingshot you forward because of that? And if it didn't do that before, could it do that now? What if the it's all pointless attitude was really just an excuse to play small? Could I be honest enough to realize that I was scared to live because I'd lived with fear for so long? Would that make a difference? And what would this change for you, knowing that, realizing that? And another thing you might say, well, what makes me so special? What makes you so special? On just the probabilities alone, that question answers itself. Think of it. 1 in a billion child made of stardust. Come on. Just making it to life, beating such odds ought to make your head spin. No matter how you slice it or dice it, it was still you and me who got to live. It was you and me who somehow fit into the master plan, and both of us were here, put here for some reason, which only you and I can guess at. But you were supposed to be born. Undoubtedly. That's where the fun part comes in. For what purpose? Well, here's a hint. It's not something that you can just pull off of a shelf and install. It's not how it works. You're rarely going to read a book and suddenly say, oh, well, I found my purpose, although it might help. So read books. Mommy's not going to take you or me by the hand and tell us, here's your place in the sun, little one. Serve and be happy. No, too easy, and especially not befitting the extraordinary odds, the incredible miracle of your existence. An easy route is almost an insult considering the chaos from which you came. Iron sharpens iron, little one. Pain makes us grow. We earn our identities. You You arrived here with gifts. These gifts are unique to you. Ask any parent with more than one child if their kids are the same, and they'll tell you how different they are. They're all unique. Whatever gifts you arrive with, we don't question their origins. Nor can you or me or anyone else deny that there's a destiny before each one of us. To honor all the other possibilities which did not win life as you did, you must take up the challenge in whichever way that you can and deliver to the best of your ability. It's on that basis alone, and your spirit demands it. That may be why you're listening to me today. You don't do this because you can, though you may or you may not realize your power to do just that. You don't do this because you want to, though you may fully accept that you do. You do this because it's what you owe. Did you catch that? It's what you owe, my friend. Why? Because you're a chosen one. Stay powerful. Never give up. This is a day. Chris Wallace, advisor to men. Thank you for your time.